Good morning. Happy range day. It's currently 9:37. I was going to be on my way at 9 o'clock. What do you bet I don't actually get out of town till 11? Oh, look. I was right. You want to hear the rant? I'll give you the rant. So a few weeks back, I went fishing with Brad and his brother, and they're both spin fishermen. And when his brother saw me get my fly rod out, he said, "I didn't know he was fishing with royalty." I thought that was pretty funny. So then a few weeks back, I went to the range, and the range officer wouldn't let me shoot tin cans and said only paper and clay targets were allowed. And I said, "Well, I didn't know he was shooting with royalty." But he didn't think that was funny. But that did bring to mind something I read on Glock Talk 10 years ago about how, it was from a forum member I respected, and it was about how a true rifleman should be able to hit a clay pigeon at 100 yards with open sights. And that raised the question, am I a true rifleman? Because would I be an American gun nut if I didn't base my masculinity on something I read on the internet 10 years ago? So yesterday, I packaged up my kid and we went to Field and Stream to buy some clay pigeons for me to take to the range today. Except when we got there, Field and Stream is no longer Field and Stream. They are rebranding. It's turning into Sportsman's Warehouse. Because that, I guess Field and Stream brought up connotations of the magazine, and so many people shop there that can't read. Maybe this will work better. Anyway, so Kiddo was very disappointed. He loved Field and Stream. I mean, I assume it's going to be the same store now. Anyway, he was disappointed, and I said, all right, no problem. I'll just go buy my clays, after I drop him off at school in the morning. The real problem, though, is that because I knew I had to buy the clays this morning, I put a bunch of other stuff off until this morning. I was like, I don't need to get gas today. I got to buy the clays tomorrow. So, instead of leaving straight from preschool, I'm going to be delayed anyway. So I'll just get gas tomorrow. So I put a bunch of stuff off. But it's not my fault that I'm 2 hours late on my range day. I blame it on Brad's brother and corporate America. So the reason there's such a crunch to do this today is that today is the last day before the opening of squirrel season. And I've kind of tinkered too much with my rifles to really be confident in them, and I have to go confirm zeros. For those of you who have followed this little adventure, I have decided to use the Marlin and to keep the Marlin, and not sure what I'm going to do with the Ruger yet, but I really like both these guns. I think I do have a place for both of them in my life. I'm gonna use the Marlin this season, but I might use it with iron sights. I took the scope off because it's heavy. Adds to the weight of an already heavy gun. Took the scope off last weekend to help train a new shooter, and discovered that the iron sights, I had already fixed the fact that the iron sights shot like 6 inches to the left at 50 yards, and I discovered that the iron sights also shoot high. They shoot so high that you can't aim dead on at a Coke can at 25 yards. So I bought some Williams fire sights, and the first thing I'm going to do when we get to the range is sight those in. But the other reason I'm in such a hurry is that at 5:30 tonight I have to be back in town because it's my anniversary. I'm going on a date. And of course, the range is right by my favorite fishing hole. So I have to go fishing. Just saving gas, combining trips. So that's why I'm in a big crunch to get this all done before I have to meet my wife at the most expensive restaurant in town, smelling like gunpowder and trout. The range is full. Range officer said it's going to be about an hour. Well, I am sure as hell not going to sit at a public range for an hour and just hope I don't get shot. So I'm trying to find a fishing hole, but the problem is the fishing holes are all full. It's freaking 11:50 on a Tuesday. Why is everybody out here? This hole only has 2 people in it, so I guess I'll start here. All right, first things first, let's find out how cold this water is. It's fun. See this gorgeous spot right here? I've hooked 3 fish in it. and they all got off. And that's 4. And I'm starting to realize what kind of day it's going to be. Fuck, that's 5. All right, number 6 becomes number 1. My friend, you have turned the whole day around. Let's get you loose. Okay, number 1, we're gonna get you loose. Boom. See? That was easy. You're loose. Thank you for biting. Bye. Oh, number 2. Oh, now. Everything's good. Everything's good. Take it easy. Take it easy, number 2. Look at that fish. Amazing. Okay. Thank you for biting. Are you good to go? Oh, yeah, you're good. All right, fish. It's been fun. But it's time for me to go prove that I am a true rifleman. Looking much better. Looking much better. Let's do this. Here's the top of my receiver on my poor 1022 after I tinkered with it too much. But I also wanted to show you guys, I flipped the rear sight around. I was actually looking at the back of it, or the back of that center plate there, and that gives me, I think, a better sight picture. But of course, now I got to sight this one in too. Here's the Marlin, and here's the new set of fire sights. And here is the sight picture with the Williams fire sights. So much better than stock. Let's see how we do. Okay, so here's the first group with the Ruger, not too bad. There's group number 2, not too bad. It's group number 3, that opens up a little bit. And then I shot the first group with the Marlin, which I guess was over here somewhere. Well, that's humbling. Let's make it better. Okay, we started, I was aiming, this was my point of aim right here. And that was the first group, second group, then we got it right. There's a group sighted in. All right, I think I've got it pretty dead on. Time to see if I'm a true rifleman. All right, let's do it.
$1,500, $1,600 yard shots.
Oh yeah, they can go. I mean, they
still lethal.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It fires off. It goes all over.
Sitting right next to it.
Let's see, Jeff. Let's try it and see what she's gonna do.
Tomorrow, sir. I'm gonna go to Ashland.
All right, well that was good. My bipod, I shot a nut loose on my bipod, and it fell apart. I did get all the parts so I could put it back together later. And my scope started to wander after about 200 rounds, and I was worried it was finally giving up the ghost. I think I've had that scope for 10 years, cheap ass $50 Walmart scope, and and then I checked the mounts, and it was loose where in the upper part of the scope ring, and cinched it back down, going strong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 vehicles down here next to the fishing hole. That's insane. But I think I accomplished what I needed to do. I definitely sighted in the scope. It's solid, and it works with both the mini mags and the mini mag segmented hollow point, whatever fancy newfangled CCI round. So that's it. I got a Blaze orange vest coming in the mail tomorrow, and my license is all paid up, and I guess I'm an actual hunter or something. I just have to go out in the woods and kill something. But even if I don't kill anything, I did establish that the blood of a true rifleman courses through my veins. Those clay pigeons are dust, and I caught 2 trout today, so not too bad. Thanks for coming along. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind.
That's why I want to look
How
at
much?
your book. 650 for
Really?
Hoa, H-O-W-A.
I paid $200 for that Winchester.
Man, that don't make me feel right.
I bought it off a buddy of mine, but I've had it for 10 years.
Yeah,
I've had it for 10 years.
yeah. This is a sweet gun. It's got the Hogue, like, super soft, the stock.
I need to go home and clean it again.
But I went on YouTube last night.
Okay.
Those guys hitting 1,600 yard shots.
Oh yeah, they can go. I mean, they
Still
lethal at that. Oh yeah.
distance?
Oh absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. They use these when you go, if you go over to Africa and hunt. That's what they hunt with.
That's what I was gonna say. What do you,
Yeah.
what do you shoot with that? Fucking
Yeah.
elephants?
Anything.
Yeah, you can knock them down with it.
Maybe
I
bear.
like 75 grain, but to be honest with you, I'd rather shoot 150. But because I started out with 175, that's what I stick with. You know.
It just looks like a gun where if you miss, whatever you missed is gonna eat you.
Oh yeah.
Now whatever you miss is gonna run. He
Yeah.
ain't gonna want to part of it. That noise, if the bullet don't hit him and scare him, the noise is gonna get him.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
you sitting in the woods, when you're sitting in the woods and you fire that thing off, oh son,
I've
it fires off.
Trust
It
me,
echoes
I feel
all
it
over.
sitting
the
right
woods.
next to it.
I'll be back this here tomorrow.
Let's see, Jeff. Let's try it and see what she's gonna do.
Go ahead.